Hey, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to
Welcome.
Pride Brunchathon with Utopia. Oh. Oops. Oops. Are we good? We're live. Okay, we are live. We are live. All right. Hi. Hello. Once more. Take two. Welcome to the Pride Brunchathon with Utopia that RK Wild is presenting with us. Let's go ahead and before we get into the actual game itself, who am I playing with? Who are these people? Who are these wonderful, wonderful beings that are with me today? So, Miriam, start us off, please.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Miriam, and I do a whole lot of things, which I will talk about at some point, but not right now, because right now I'm busy being a skunk called Funky Brewster.
What are their pronouns?
Oh yeah, and my pronouns are they, them.
Thank you. Chrome.
Hey everybody, I'm Chrome Roman. Today I am playing a funky little raccoon named Luis, who uses he, they pronouns, the exact inverse of me, he uses they, he pronouns. And y'all can find me at Curls Borealis. I'll be lurking around in chat a little bit, just hanging today.
Val.
Hi everyone, my name is Valiant Dorian. I do a lot of different things, but mostly a variety Twitch streamer. I'll be playing a really cute little skunk friend named Lovin, who uses he, him pronouns, and I too also use he, him pronouns.
Jeremy.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy. I use they, them pronouns. I'm excited to be in the stream. I do some things and you'll hear about them later. But today I'm playing Reginald the raccoon, or Reggie, who uses he or they pronouns.
Excellent. And I'm Mo Morgan, they, she pronouns. Why do I always have to cough while I'm talking? But yeah, we will be playing Candied Violets by Modern Soto. Candied Violets is let me read the little blurb real quick. It's a 2 to 6 player tabletop role playing game that uses a D6 system to randomly generate woodland creature characters and judges, along with making several in game checks. Kind of based loosely off of a beloved show that we all have near and dear to our hearts, Great British Bake Off. That's where we get a lot of the inspo. That's where we're going to be going. Before we get into the game, it is a charity thing that we are doing with the Pride Brunchathon. We are supporting Black and Pink. Black and Pink National is a prison abolitionist organization dedicated to abolishing the criminal punishment system and liberating LGBTQIA2S+ people and people living with HIV/AIDS who are affected by that system through advocacy, support, and organizing. If you can, please donate through our Tiltify account. No money amount is too small. We will definitely appreciate it. We are trying to get to at least our first goal, our goal right now, how you want to term it, is $1,000. So yeah, help us get there. We would love your support. If not, just stick around and just enjoy the good vibes that we're having for this game. With that all said, do anybody have any other questions before we hop in? No? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get in. I'm gonna just throw y'all a little, just a little flavor text of blurbs and stuff of where we are, what's going on, all that, and then we'll just get in. So the scene opens up, this blaring sun into bright blue, cloudless sky, and it comes down, and you can hear the sound of the ocean waves around it, and we move on to like a white sands beach in a way, and there we see, buried in the sand from the neck up, or the neck down, and you just see the head and beak of our beloved host, Eddie, the raven. They're sitting there with a little white sunscreen right down the strip of his beak and shades on, and they look up to the camera like, oh, well, welcome, bakers. It's Pie Week. And what better way to celebrate the summer than with pie? And then they look left and they look right, and they're like, all right, a little help, please. And the camera cuts as we move to as it cuts towards the outside the tent, which is a white tent, big, spacious, almost circus-like tent with paneled sides to let some fresh air flow in. And inside we see our lovely bakers at their stations, and our 3 judges, who I'll get to in a minute. But right now, let's go ahead and see who all the bakers. What? Ah! Nice.
Nice.
Thank you for whoever donated. You better screenshot that, Jess. All right, where was I? I got distracted. It's a good distraction. So yeah, we're gonna pop up and see who are our bakers. So I think the first one is gonna be the one on the first left. Let's go ahead and Jeremy, go ahead and describe your baker to us, please.
Sure. So Reggie is looks a little worse for wear, a little disheveled. Wearing a button-up floral print shirt, but it's a little bit. When you look closer, it looks like the buttons aren't quite buttoned right. It's been one button off the whole way down. A bright pink bow tie that clashes really strongly with the shirt. There's some stains in a few places, but he's a lovely raccoon boy. He's got when he very first walks in, as you see them entering the thing, he's holding 2 big jars, one under each arm, and they both also have floral print around the edge, so you can't see what's inside them. And he sets them very carefully up on his table. He's kind of grimaces a little bit every once in a while as he's looking around. He's not quite sure what he's doing or what he's gotten himself into, but that's Reggie.
Excellent. I love Reggie, and we're gonna go to the baker right behind him, which will be Val. Please describe your character.
So Lavin is this chubby little skunk friend. Currently is got his tail up. The only thing you can see through the camera right now is his tail up, as the rest of him is burrowed underneath the table trying to sort out ingredients for the challenges. He has this adorable flower crown, but like his namesake, is mostly just lavender. And he takes great pride in his love for lavender, including wearing a lavender floral print shirt. Less like a button up, more like loose beachwear. But he is kind of just scrambling around, and every now and then, when he clocks that there is a camera looking at him, just kind of raises a little paw and goes like, and then goes back to preparing the infused lavenders, plucking them mostly from his flower crown.
Excellent. And I believe we're gonna do the next one, who's to the right, and I believe that's Chrome. Go ahead and describe character.
Luis is already standing in the tent. He is a little nervous, very excited. Luis is a very small, round little raccoon, round as a ball, and wears a nice, it was originally supposed to be a white apron, but over the years, like, the actual strap that goes around the neck is a bit frayed and has been replaced with a daisy pattern strap. Has like frayed edges, and then on top of that, so many stains you can barely tell that it was originally white because turmeric has gotten on that, soy sauce, just so much pomegranate juice. This man is a mess. This little raccoon man is a mess, and it's great for him.
I love that. And then the camera's gonna go to our last contestant, to Miriam. Go ahead and describe them.
Yeah, so Brewster is this very well manicured skunk wearing just an apron that says funky, and then there's like cheese and garlic and all these other things that you think of as funky food. And everything, like, this is someone probably a lot of people would get really annoyed at because everything's like pristine, perfectly pressed. Everything's organized. There's mise en place or place or whatever. I'm very bad at French, excuse me. Of all the bowls all neatly laid out with all these like the exact amount for each ingredient. And there's like literally a spice store's worth of spices all laid out in like these itty bitty bowls. And there's one jar just full of poppy seeds. And you see like just instead of like salt and seasoning, how people just, salt bay, it's just poppy bay of just like poppy seeds, just where whatever surface, and sort of getting ready to is preparing several of the, it looks like going to be complicated dishes. For even the simplest thing, it's going to be complicated. And there's like a whole crate full of fruits.
And then the camera pans over to our three judges. And the first judge is this burly, tall polar bear, all white fur with these steely blue eyes. And the next one next to them is a shorter being. It's a toad, who's the green and the brown patterns all over their skin, and they got little glasses that sort of like fit their face, and so their eyes look like they're a lot bigger than they are. And then the last one is a tall, like slender looking deer who is wearing just like a little pearl necklace. And eventually Eddie stumbles in, or the Raven host, wearing a bright like 90s carpet sort of style button down shirt, like short sleeve button down, like aloha shirt, with still the sunscreen on their beak. And they're like, "Oh, sorry, I was late. Okay. Bakers, welcome to the summer edition of the baking show that we're still working on the title." But this time, the judges have decided, well, us as players have decided, this time we've decided that it is pie week. So what we're going to do, players, we need flaky crust, we need robust flavors, and no soggy bottoms. So with that, your first challenge is the budding challenge. You will have 2.5 hours to get out 6 hand pies. They have to be identical, but whatever flavors you put in them, that's on you. And everybody ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And then that's when the countdown begins. And so for the gameplay itself, there's 3 roles: the sniffer, a taste buds, and a timing check. So people, dear viewer, who do not know this game, sniffers, the skills that we have in place are sniffer, where you pick the ingredients; timing, where you try not to burn or underbake things; cutes, which is trying to charm or cry; taste buds, knowing what works all together; and then forage is when you start improvising. So, if you can, to start us all off, everybody please give me a sniffer check, which is a 1d6 plus your sniffer. Oh.
What is that? Oh, it's not bad. I got a 6.
Got a 6. Okay.
Got a 10.
Same.
Oh.
I have an 8.
Okay. All right. So let's go with the lowest one first, which is Chrome. Is that right? Luis got a 6. You know what's something good happens though. So what is that something good that happens as you're starting to set up this your bake? What are you baking too?
I'm baking homemade boysenberry hand pies, and boysenberry is not many people eat it. It's mostly seen at like places like Knott's Farm, and so I'm pairing it today with a boysenberry filling and a puff pastry using orange zest and ginger, spiced with cardamom. I forgot the cardamom. I left it at home. I hope it's here.
There should be some. Maybe. We'll have to see.
Good. That can be the good thing that happens.
That you find some cardamom? Yeah. So as you're baking, looking around, you actually see like a little small little thing of cardamom like setting.
I scamper
May-
over and I just go, thank you. I run away.
May I, because I actually had cardamom, and may I just be like, oh, here's some. Here you go.
You're very kind. Thank you. I need this for all the things I am baking today. I am not very organized.
You're welcome.
So then we see that lovely exchange between Funky and Louise. Who got the second lowest one? Because there's 2 10s. You did. Okay, go ahead.
I got a 6.
You also got a 6. Well,
I
something
also
good
got a
also
6.
happens. So first off, Reginald, what are you baking?
So this, I might be taking on a little too much. We'll see what happens. But I'm doing 2 different flavors today. I'm doing a Marionberry, a Marionberry and mint pie with a chocolate mint pumpkin seed pastry dough. We'll see how that comes together. And then I wanted to have something a little savory as well. I know that one of our judges is a vegetarian today, so we're going with jackfruit. I was going to do a traditional pork hand pie, but we're doing jackfruit instead. So it's a Marionberry lime compote inside, a little with a smoked spiced jackfruit and a spiced short crust pastry. So I've got my work cut out for me. Yes.
But so the good thing. So what is the good thing that happens for Reggie during this prep?
Yeah. So I'm kind of crawling into these large jars I have and slowly pulling things out. And the good thing that happens is what is a good thing that happens? I think that the good thing that happens is that despite being incredibly disorganized, just literally having 2 jars that has everything in it as I'm pulling things out, nothing has gotten crushed. None of my berries that are on the bottom got smushed or anything. They're all still looking decently fresh. And I wasn't really expecting that.
Oh, wow. And you didn't even put like a barrier on them. You're just like, yeah, they're fine now.
No, they're literally just pulling them out of the jar with my little raccoon hands.
Excellent. All right. And y'all both got 10s, right?
I got an 8.
Okay, you got an 8.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go with you. What? 11? Is that right?
11, yes.
So with an 8, something good happens and the player gets advantage for the remainder of the round. So tell me, first off, what are you making?
So Levin is making a lemon lavender hand pies. I've been accused many a time of being especially singularly minded, but lavender is an incredibly delicate flavor and a wonderful aroma. I would be remiss to not use it appropriately in my baking. After all, I am named after lavender. So it is a lemon lavender hand pie, and the filling is going to be the tricky bit, as I'm going to provide a typical lemon filling, but I'm trying to infuse it with a lavender oil within it. So that would be the challenging thing. Also with a culinary lavender slight icing over the top of the hand pies. I'm trying to think about the good thing that would happen as he is scampering around making this lavender. Like, most of Lavin's attention is on the several different arrays of lavender that he has to prepare. And I think the good thing that happens is the oils for the lavender properly infused into the filling, and you see him pull out a little spoonful of the filling and give it a lavender. Perfect. It's all coming together.
Oh my goodness. So yes, you'll get an advantage for the remainder of the round, meaning that what I say, if you roll 2 dice and then take the highest one. That's right.
Okay.
That's what advantage is. So that's just for this challenge alone.
Okay.
All right. And Funky Brewster.
Yeah.
You got a 10, right?
I did.
Something splendid happens, and the player gets advantage for the remainder of the game unless they roll a 1 on a future check. So you're doing great right now. So first off, what is Funky making?
So Funky is going to be making samosas two ways. One half is going to be savory, the other half is going to be sweet. The filling main ingredient is the summer fruit of choice, is going to be jackfruit, which is sort of like, especially unripe jackfruit, which has like this really nice, almost meaty texture to it. And the savory filling is going to be flavored with this special 5 seed blend, which is in a very specific in Bengali culture, which is fennel, cumin, mustard, fenugreek, and nigella seeds. And there's going to be a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of mango powder as well to give it that darkness. And then the sweet one is going to be more desserty. So it's got cardamom, it's got cinnamon, it's got rose water, saffron, and instead of sugar, it's going to be sweetened with gur, which is a date palm sugar. And the dough is going to have poppy seeds in it to give it a little bit of crunch and really nice texture. And it's going to be served for the savory one is going to be a green mango chutney, and for the sweet one, a mango chutney.
Wow, that's a lot that you're doing. That's so good. How do you get the advantage not only for this, but like how does it feel like you're like setting yourself up for the whole game? Like what do you think's doing that?
I think that whole mise en play of like all the ingredients properly proportioned, so that it's just like boom, 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 throw it together. My space is super organized. For each thing, there's like stations set up for like, okay, here's the filling station, here's the dough rolling out station, and then the place where I'm gonna basically have all the samosas prepared, and then the fryer right at the end to fry it all. And there's like, yeah.
All right. So we're starting this game out. Everybody seems like they're doing very, very well. Everything that's happening. Let's go ahead and just do the next one. What is it again? It is where are we? It will be the taste buds challenge. Everybody give me a taste buds check, please. Oh no, that face, Jeremy.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh wait,
Roger.
I have advantage, don't I?
Yeah,
do I
so
only get to use
yeah.
it once? Or
You got it
is
for the whole.
like
Yeah, got it for the whole round. So.
the whole round? Okay, so I'll just roll it just in case. All right.
All right. So what did everybody get?
I got a
roll
4.
Got a 6.
A 6. What'd you get?
Got a 9.
Nice. And well, Val, what'd you get?
Levin also got a 9.
9. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to Reggie with the 4. So with the 4, where are we? Here we go. Something bad happens, and the player must play at disadvantage for the remainder of the round. So
Okay.
as this bake is going on, you're starting to get your hand pie situated. What happens? Like what's the bad thing that happens?
Okay, so I think that the camera would have, as it was looking at, it was on Funky Brewster immediately before this with these very nicely set up or well organized stations, and then it cuts to me, and stuff is just all over the place. Because there's only 4 of us, so we're further along in competition. There's an empty table behind me. I've spread stuff out back there too. Things are all over the place. And I'm making my 2 doughs. I'm making the different fillings. And I think what happens, the thing that goes wrong is as I'm messing with different things, I go to taste something, and I get that like a look on my face, a really concerned look, and I realize I added the liquid smoke. It was supposed to go in the jackfruit filling. I added it to the sweet filling.
Oh no! So I think when they see that face, Eddie sort of like walks over. He's like, "What's going on, buddy? Well, what's happening here?"
I think it'll be all right. I the smoky Marionberry that's a thing that people enjoy, right? People like smoky, sweet flavored chocolate, right?
Yeah, that sounds very new edge. And like they just sort of like raise like what a raven has for eyebrows and be like, yeah, like you know what? Let's give it a shot. Maybe you'll bake better. Just keep going. You got this, okay?
Mhm.
All right. Okay. And I'm gonna let you keep going. you look like you're
Okay.
busy. So, and they just slowly start backing away. so, so you'll have disadvantage for the remainder of this round. So that means you'll roll 2 dice and take the lowest one. All right. You both got 9s. What if Funky? What'd you get?
I got 6.
6. Okay. So with a 6, something good happens. And what is that good thing that is happening? Are you just chugging along? Is that what's happening?
I'm definitely chugging along, and they're basically I'm now in that point where I'm basically like the fillings are done, they're prepared, they're ready to be rolled up and fried. Somehow I'm making good time as well, but I'm not like also like I have time to make the sauces. So yeah, I'm just chugging along. I'm now filling the samosas, and it's just like it's coming, all of them are coming out perfectly sized. I'm sorry, I'm so annoying.
Yes. You see me repeatedly glaring at you from across the room.
Lovin every so often just looks over the Funky Brewster with like sheer admiration. You know, just like the twitching little nose, kind of like looking over her eyes really big and shiny. I don't know, perhaps maybe seeing like such an organized like skunk friend like really just nailing these challenges and just going like kind
And
of
I
looks
just
at
smile
his
back every time as well, like
every now and then like kind of sees that Funky Brewster like places a little tool appropriately in a corner or something, and Lava tries to imitate and goes like,
Honestly, Luis is in a fairly similar situation to Levon, where it's just admiration, but also I look down at my workstation, which is just like an explosion has gone off. I look at yours and I go, I'll deal with it later. It's fine, I'll deal with it later. It's good. No, eventually I'll get to your level. You're so organized. You're incredible. It's wow. It's like wow.
All right. And our 2 9s. Who would want to go first?
I can go first if
Okay.
that's what you want. Yeah.
So yeah, with the 9, something good happens and the player gets advantage for the remainder of the round. You still have advantage. So
Yeah.
it,
So it's okay.
it
Sounds
just
great.
stays. Yeah.
It's well, awesome. So I think the good thing that happens this time would be because this is the taste buds, right? That we're doing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is taste
Yes.
buds.
So the icing is tasting really good, and the color has this really nice, like subtle light lavender that's going through onto the icing, and he's very very happy about that. And you know, after imitating Funky Brewster a little bit in terms of organization, he's seeing that, oh yes, indeed, it makes sense that when you place things in a certain place, it makes it easier for you to go things step by step. Who would have thought? Who truly would have thought? I am flabbergasted. And I think in the nick of time, as he's like doing all of these tastings, goes, might need a bit more lavender. Plucks one out from his flower crown, gives it a little rub, and then begins continuing on in his baking.
Louise. Louise, it's your. Well, how
yeah,
the camera
right,
cuts to
sorry.
you. Yeah.
I was just vibing so hard with that. I think something good that happens for Luis at least is that it's just like, you know, everything is going great over here. The puff pastry is perfectly balanced because sometimes when you add flavors to it, it can get like a little bit over mixed or underdone, but this one, it's like the butter is perfectly integrated. It's goat butter for our lactose intolerant friends. Don't worry, I know my judges. The cardamom hasn't taken too much away because it's like cinnamon where it's a drying agent. And then the orange zest is just enough where it balances nicely against the boysenberry filling. And I'm just having a great time watching it puff up. Just watching it mix together because I know it's going to just puff up perfectly if I can just bake it right. It'll be good. It'll all be good. I promise, I swear it'll be good. It's great right now.
And to let you know, since now you rolled a 9, you get advantage for the remainder of this round. So, but
I'll need
as
it.
yeah, so as you are going on, the judges are actually going to start making the rounds to chat with people. So Reggie, they're going to first stop by your table, and they're like, and the tall one, oh god, what are my names again for my judges? Slate, the bear, is like, what's going on here? How are you doing, Reggie?
Uh, I I I ran into a little predicament for a little bit there, but I think things are coming along now. The two pastries have both seem to be turning out pretty well. I thought that Marionberry was going to be the theme that connected across the two. It turns out that Marionberry and smoke will be the theme that connects across the two. But trust me, I'm quite sure that it'll be it's all going to work out. I just need to find something to balance out the smoky flavor and the sweet one here. I'm sure you'll love it, and the it's all about how well it cooks and presents anyway.
And Misty, the dear judge with the pearl necklace, she's like, "Oh well, I believe it'll be okay, darling. I think smoke is like the new oh, popular thing that's going on where they want the essence of things. So I believe that'd be fine." And then Dale, the toad's like, "Just make sure you get your bakes in time because if you're gonna." If your flavor's gonna be a little eccentric, maybe it'll bake out right.
Yeah, you're quite right. Yes.
They're like, you've got it, yeah. And then they're gonna scoot over and they're gonna go to Lavin. So all the
Tripoli
judges
sits
scoot over
up,
to you. Yeah.
ears perked up, tail upright. As soon as he like realizes the judges are approaching, he's like, "Oh, hi." As he's like scurrying around trying to get the baking done.
Yeah, and Missy's like, "And what are you making, dear?"
I am making for you a lemon lavender hand pies.
Ooh.
The filling is going to be of lemon, but with a lavender oil, so that you get that really nice aroma and very subtle taste of lavender.
And I think
as you bite
Dell's
into
gonna
it.
pop in and be like, "Please don't put too much lavender in it, because
Oh,
there is a fine line
absolutely.
between delicate and soap."
Oh, absolutely! It is a delicate art, and I definitely would not want to overpower the palate with the with lavender. It really is just a bit of a science, really.
And Slate just gives you the stare, and he's just watching you work. So with those like bright blue eyes.
Lavin is um both anxious and incredibly like awestruck, like starstruck a little bit, as you know these celebrity judges are like standing over his like workplace, especially Slate. And he just kind of like looks up with these like really sparkly eyes, and he just goes, nose twitching a little bit. And he's like, "Am I doing all right? Is this?" As he's like rolling out something, like, "Is this not great? Should I
think
not
Slate.
be?"
I think
Should I
as the
not
other
be-
judges move on, Slate just keeps staring at you and doesn't answer, and but just walks off with them.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Silence and not immediate beratement. I will take it. I will take it.
Right. And they go on to Louise. And so you see the judges like stroll over to your table. By the way, y'all, whenever you want to, you can always use foraging and cutes. So that's whenever. So just FYI. But
Okay.
Louise, yeah. They all come over and
Hello.
Dell's like, he looks at the chaos that is your table, and and he's like, and sorry, they're like, so what exactly are you making here?
Well, first of all, please excuse my organized chaos. It's a method that only I can barely understand. It's okay. Today I am making for you boysenberry hand pies. The dough is puff pastry with orange zest and cardamom, and obviously the filling is going to be boysenberry with honey. The boysenberries I find have a very similar. They're a hybrid of loganberries, raspberries, and blackberries, and so they have a nice little floral flavor that goes with honey, manuka honey, that is balanced by the bitter of cardamom, and then is brought out by the acidity of citrus, which is why I have the orange zest. So that's what I am planning. Those are my hand pies.
And I think Slate's looking and just inspecting your thing and watched you as you explained it, and he's like, boysenberries are quite hard to find around this time, especially ripe. So hopefully you've gotten a good handful.
Well, boysenberries are they're late spring, early summer, so they're still a little bit ripe. But of course, obviously, you're right. It's towards the end of the season, but it's fine. They're fine. They're good. I have a good stock. Don't worry about it.
And I think Misty pops in and she's like, "Well, dear, don't you need to get those in the bake soon? And let me just push these folks away." And she'll like start scooting Dell and Slate like over to the last table. As
Thank you for visiting.
as Slate starts like just you can see Slate, or actually you see Adele the Toads just like trying to help you out and organize a little bit. But Misty's busy just pushing them away. And Funky, you get all the judges towards your table.
Yeah, it's like, hello.
Wow. And I think Slate actually is like just like, I'm impressed with the spread that's happening here. What are you making?
So I'm making samosas 2 ways, and I'm not going to repeat it again, but imagine that I did.
Yes.
And I sort of, as I'm explaining it, I'm sort of like pointing at all the different things I'm using. And right now, at this point, I think because I want them to be perfectly timed so that they're fresh and ready to serve, the samosas themselves are ready to go. They're going to go in the last 5 minutes. And I'm right now working on the chutneys. So I'm like making on over the stove different sauces, and I was like, yeah, so this is what I'm doing. It's just I'm from South Asia, so I wanted to bring all these flavors from my community. And when the theme was summer fruits, immediately I went to jackfruit.
And I think you see like just the smallest of smiles from Slate, because I believe Slate's the one that's a vegetarian. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, Slate's the one that's vegetarian. The big old pull-up like Bear's a vegetarian one. And he's like, and Missy's like, well, dear, it looks like that you have everything under control. Everything is going well. And you actually don't hear anything from Dell for once. Dell is just like looking on like, all right, they got this. Yeah, I see. And then all the judges are gonna be off to the side. And that's when you hear Eddie pip up, sitting from on a counter, trying to balance a whisk on the tip of their wing, and we're like, "Oh, halfway through, bakers." And with that, let's go ahead and get that last roll out of the way. It will be your timing check. So if everybody can give me timing check,
God,
please.
okay. My worst stat.
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh no!
Let's see how this goes. Okay. Wait, I have advantage. Oh. Praise Jesus. Okay.
Oh, okay. So real quick, so we got a 4, we got another 4, 7, and then a 6.
Yep.
All right, our 4s Oh. Was timing all y'all's bad ones? Is that what y'all
For me,
did?
it is. I didn't put any.
0.
Zero.
For me, I put a 2 in it.
I have a 3 in it, but I rolled 2 ones. So.
Oh no!
I was rolling with disadvantage anyway, but even if I had been rolling with advantage.
Oh no!
Oh no.
All right, so let's go to you, Reggie. How does something bad happens? What's going on?
Okay, so oh, this one has to do with timing. So I had decided to throw out the smoky blueberry or the smoky marionberry compote thing. I was like, nope, too many different flavors, not going to work. So I was like, that's fine. I'll put the other one in the oven right now. I can get this going. I think it'll be fine. I've been quickly trying to whisk up create a new marionberry filling for my second pie, my dessert pie.
Oh, so you're remaking the whole thing?
I'm remaking the whole filling, not the dessert. Like the
Okay.
pastry is still fine, but I'm remaking the filling.
I think
So-
Eddie
so-
comes over to you and just sort of slides. I was like, "How's it going, mate? Why are you stirring? Shouldn't this be in the oven?"
I just hold out a spoon and say, "Taste this."
I think you put it there and they just go ah.
Like, see, it tastes much better than it did before. So it's going to be fine. I've got the savory hand pies are in the oven. I just need to hurry up and finish this, get it together. The chocolate pastry is ready to go. And
Okay. All right. I believe in you.
yeah.
You're getting there. You got this. Breathe. All right. Now go.
Okay. And I'm throughout the next little bit, you will repeatedly see me sitting, like watching, just sitting there pacing. Anytime it cuts back to me, I'm either pacing or I'm sitting and staring and kind of rocking in front. Open the oven, close it.
All right. And real quick, Funky, you did have advantage. So did you roll your dice twice? And you still
Yes,
got a
I
4?
did.
Okay.
I have 0 in timing, so it's a 4.
Oh, so something actually bad happens, Funky. What happened?
So I'm gonna really lean into that over preparedness, and everything is done exactly to how I wanted, but I'm like 10 minutes early.
So
And
things are
now
getting
when it's
cold.
ready, and when it's ready for judging, it's going to be pretty like room temperature or slightly cooler because it's just been sitting.
So are you just sitting there, like just drinking your tea or something, or?
Yeah, and I'm just like, everything's fine. It's like, oh, cool. Whew, I have like 2 minutes to spare. And when they say 10 minutes left, I'm like, wait, what?
So yeah, all y'all, as you're running around, I don't know if any of you are paying attention, but you just see Funky there just chilling in their
And-
corner. Yeah.
Maybe what I'm going to add to it is because I'm like, oh no, I can fix it. I put it in to heat up, but now it's a little too, like, the crust is a little too brown
Oh no.
because it got double fried.
Oh. Oh, that's right. You fried it. You didn't bake it. Oh.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I have time. I have plenty of time.
I think Eddie comes over to you and while you're just sitting there waiting to they they're looking around and are like, the competition's not over yet, right?
What do you mean? There's just 2 minutes left, right?
No, mate, it's 10.
And then just this like first like like it doesn't register, and then eyes just widen huge, and it's like, oh, no, I can fix this, and just sort of like when they're saying 5 minutes left, I just take it and I throw it in the thing, and then it's like, okay, it's fine, and then I take it out, it's like, oh no, it's too brown. It's fine.
Yeah, I think when you start rushing, Eddie just sort of like awkwardly just side shuffles away to let you do your thing. And Luis and Lavin, what'd y'all get? You got a 7, Luis, and you got
7, yeah.
6.
I got a 6, yeah.
All right, so let's go, Lavin. What with the 6? Something good happens. Are you just chugging along with timing? or how's it
Uh,
happening?
I think the imitation as a form of flattery really comes in for Lovin a little bit here as he adopts a little bit more of Funky Brewster's organizational stratagems. And you see him kind of like actually putting things away appropriately, getting things cleaned appropriately, keeping them away from his stations, especially with all the lavender that's strewn about. And you see him go, all right, and now when I'm done, I'm gonna place it here, like Funky does, and he's chugging along, and he's like, finally like sorting out the icing, for the hand pies. Glances over to what's happening with Funky Brewster. It's like, and he's already done. Like like Funky's already done. Okay. I need to keep going. I need to keep going. Oh god. So he's just hyper focused right now. And
And
then
as you're
when
hyper focusing, Eddie
yeah.
scoots over to you. And Eddie's like, "Oh, looks like you're almost done there."
Yeah, I'm almost done. Just got the icing to do and maybe a bit of the presentation, but mostly close enough. Glances over very briefly at Funky. Is like, oh, is Funky still making more? Oh
Oh,
goodness.
I think Eddie's like, "No, mate, between you and me, they're actually putting it in for another round because it got done a little early. Like a little too early."
No. Oh no. Well, I'm sure it'll come out fine. I'm sure they
Oh,
come out
oh
fine.
yeah. That
Yeah.
my baking expertise says they will completely come out fine. I have no baking expertise, and they just walk away.
Before Eddie walks away, kind of squeezes a bit of icing onto a teaspoon. It's like, you want a bit of
Oh,
icing?
oh yes, please. I will never say no to anything here. And they look at, they're like, oh, yeah. I don't know where Dell thinks that it's going to be overpowering and taste like soap. I think that's delicious.
That's so nice to hear. Thank you, Eddie.
And I think Eddie walks away, and they're like, I love my job. All right, and Louise, you got a 7. That means still something good happens. What's good that's happening?
What happened? Despite the fact that I am complete chaos mess raccoon man, I do also finish early. Not too early, like our good funky friend, but fairly early where I have enough time to make like a simple honey glaze to just zhuzh up my puff pastry. And so you see that Luis does a little dance, just like, oh, I can make a honey glaze at this time. And then just kind of rushes around, gets like one of those little pastry brushes and just brushes along, just like, ha ha, this is going to be
And
so good.
I think as
Extra
you're doing
depth of
that,
flavor.
Eddie just scoots over to you, and they're like, "That wasn't part of the original plan. What are you doing, mate?"
I am making the most of extra unexpected time, and now I have beautifully glazed puff pastry hand pies with boysenberry. And here, you can. I grab a spoon and I pick up a little bit of honey glaze. It's very light, very even. I go, here, you can try some. It's just, it's just a little extra depth.
And I they'll never say no to anything here, so they'll put it in their mouth, and they're like,
Yes.
"They'll take it." Look at Louise, and just walks off with the spoon and keeps looking at it. And then as they're sitting there at the front, finishing off the spoon, and they're like, 3, 2, 1, time's up, bakers. Hands off. All right. And then it cuts to so everybody cuts. It goes to the judges, and all the judges are actually going to come up to each of your tables. So real quick, everybody just roll me a 1d6 just so I know the order of where they go. All right, first they go to Levon.
I was like, oh, okay.
And the judges come up and they're like, "Oh, look, I love this." They're looking at your stuff, and
Mhm.
you've done pretty well throughout this whole challenge. So they cut into it. Looks great. They tap the bottoms, make sure no soggy bottoms
No
for your
soggy
hand
bottoms.
pies. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, they're respecting it and chewing it. And Misty's like, "Oh, Dia, this is delightful." And Dell's like nodding along.
Nose is twitching. Levin's nose is twitching as the big glittery eyes immediately pan towards Slate.
And Slate's quiet as he's chewing. I gotta
Right.
say, this is. I usually am not a fan of lavender, but you've done the mark.
That's so nice to hear. That's wonderful to hear. Now if I could coax you into to Team Lavender over here. He's like smiling, eyes glittering, nose twitching.
Give me Are you trying to be cutesy right now?
Yes.
Give me a cute roll.
100%. All right, let's use the lavender roll. Ooh, that's a pretty good roll. Hold on, let me count what that actually is. I forgot what's in my cutes. Oh, +2. 7.
7. I think he just gives you like a little smirk. He's like, I'll consider it, and then they go off to their next table.
Just a
But
little dance.
it's a smirk, and he says that. However, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm a fan of your work. Okay,
The little
all right.
dance.
Who had the next lowest one? I'm just trying to see real quick. You had a 4.
I had a 4. Yeah, I think it was me.
Alright. Yeah, so Lewis. They swing over to yours. Are you still a mess? Is it still a messy over there? Are you cleaning up right now?
I am cleaning up. There is a towel over the biggest portion of the mess so they don't have to see it. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't need to worry about it. I'll get it later.
Yeah, so that they're trying your hand pies, and Slate's like, you got a good bake on this, and I think Dell's like, is that honey? Is that a honey glaze? Like, what is that?
Yes, I used a combination of Manuka honey and buckwheat honey, both for their health benefits. Manuka honey is slightly lighter. Buckwheat is a little bit darker than most usual honeys, and also is a little bit intenser in the flavor. So I combined the two to make a nice little glaze for the puff pastry. Yes.
Excellent. And I think they just give you good jobs, good bakes, equal flavors. They all say that. And then Funky, you had a 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they scoot over to you. And they taste your stuff, and they're like, the flavors are there, but just a little overdone.
Yeah, I was hoping, the double frying it, especially in ghee. Don't worry, there's no milk solids in it. It's just butter fat. And I was hoping to give it that extra crunch.
Well,
So
you sure gave it a crunch. So next time, everything was going great. Just maybe work on your timing just a little bit. And Slate's just like, yeah, everything's there. Just even for my teeth, and he's got a little big old pull. Usually just a little too much. And Dell's just like nodding on. And they scoot over to Reggie. And Reggie, how are you feeling with the judges there?
Feeling a little anxious, but I'm thinking maybe it worked out. I'm confident that the savory of the two, the jackfruit, spicy marionberry filling one, I'm convinced that one worked out. But it's a chocolate pastry dough on the other. You can't tell by looking if it's done. And I put it in really late.
You did. And so I think they're going to say that, and they're like, oh, it just doesn't feel like it's quite done. Dia. Did you have to remake anything? It seemed like it looked like you were mixing stuff very late in the game.
The filling didn't quite work out the way I had hoped it would the first time, but I should have just left it alone.
Yeah. Well, at least the sweet didn't work. But Slate cuts in. He's like, I really like the savory one though. That smokiness that you added to the savory one is just fantastic.
Thank you.
And Dell's like, Dell just sort of like looks and he's like, yeah, it seems like, you started late, but I think, once you get the hang of it, you'll get okay. Like just label your bottles and maybe
Yeah.
organize them separately.
Working on.
All right. And then it goes to the next challenge. So we're right at the 2 hour mark. Jess, or the 1 hour mark rather. Jess, could you take a little bit of 5-minute bio just so we can stretch our legs, refresh, bio, all that good stuff. But we'll be back in a minute if Jess is around and we can do this. Okay. All right. everybody, we're back. Hello.
Wow.
We are continuing our game of Candied Violets. Once again, please, if you can, donate to Black and Pink, which is a fantastic organization that we're raising for the Pride Brunchathon. Donation link is somewhere in the Twitch stream. Someone's pull it up, that'd be great, and I love you forever. Okay, so going back as we cut back from commercial break, is that all the bakers are lined up, and Eddie's there with the judges, and Eddie's like, "Well, this challenge is the blooming challenge, where one of the judges sets up a challenge for you. Now, all the judges need to pop off, go, and like you see them waving their wings and like shooing all the judges out, and all the judges are leaving, and they're like." Dell is meticulous about their pies and what it means to be a pie. So, what they have set for you today is a vegetarian cottage pie. I will throw a link for a recipe in there, so you'll have.
Oh, so
The
it's like
rest-
shepherd's pie, but
This
vegetarian.
is shepherd's pie, right?
I think there's it's like I don't really
Yeah.
know what the difference between cottage
well,
and
The
shepherd's, but
difference
like
Shepherd's
meat
is
that they
lamb.
use.
Yeah, shepherd's is
Yeah.
lamb because you know shepherds, and then any other meat is just cottage pie.
oh, the more you know. But there's a recipe list there if you need to know actually what, if you're interested in like what's in it. I think that's actually from Mary Berry. So,
Yeah, it is.
so they're like all the ingredients are laid out for you. The recipes are laid out there for you as well. They're looking to see how your technical skill is, how you can follow a recipe, and see how it comes out. So everybody's gonna be judged on the same thing. It's gonna be a blind judging. So with this one, 3, 2, 1, go. And with that, you're off to the races for doing this technical where everybody's making the same thing. Everybody's getting the same amount of ingredients and all that good stuff. So first off, let's go ahead and get our sniffers test out of the way. So we're starting out how you're going. And remember, Funky, you still have advantage.
I rolled a 5 and a 6, so my total's 10.
Nice. You can't get double advantage, so.
No, I know, but just
Okay. Luis, you look like you have a concerned look on your face.
I had to double check what I had in Sniffer because I rolled a 2. I have a 5.
Okay.
So close
5.
to disaster.
5.
Oh.
11, what'd you get?
I rolled another 8 for the sniffer
Nice.
again.
All right, so we're gonna go to Luis first with your 5. 5, something good happens. So that's nice. So what is the good thing that's happening right now as you're working on your cottage pie?
Well, I've never had cottage pie before. It's if I want to, especially vegetarian. If I want to eat meat, I'll just eat meat. So this is a new thing. This is a new thing for me. Right? At least I've had it before. I've just never made it. It's a thing. So I'm going to go off of what I barely know and do that.
You see Louise kind of scampers around and looks for like, what vegetarian thing are we using in place of actual meat? Tofu?
So for this one, the
Jackfruit?
recipe says lentils. What is swede?
it's a type of like a root vegetable.
Okay.
So it's
I was
like,
like,
parsnip
what is-
or turnip, sort of.
Yeah, so it is a lentil and vegetable pie. So you're mainly just using lentils as like your bulk.
I'm gonna make it because I also don't know what this is. Louise has no idea what sweet is and just kind of picks one up and goes,
I've never heard of this before and I've never seen this, so I'm guessing this is a thing I don't know.
and that's the good thing that happens. He guesses right.
And Reggie, the camera pans over to you, and something good happens. What's the good thing that's happening as you get ready?
So I'm looking pretty content. Reggie is looking pretty content. So cottage pie is actually one of my favorite dishes to make at home. My partner and I are both vegetarians, so this actually is a bit old hat for us. I'm excited to use the lentils. I'm excited about the swede or rutabaga as they refer to it in the States.
Oh, it's a
I'm-
rutabaga. Okay.
I'm ready to jump in yeah, I'm confident. So the thing that's good that happens is I have made hundreds at this point of vegetarian cottage pies. It's almost a weekly dish at my house.
Excellent. So you're starting out because you're familiar with the dish and like it's
Yeah.
going very well. Okay. You had an 8 Lavin, is that right?
Yes, yes, that's
All right. So you get advantage. Something good happens, and you get advantage for the remainder of the round.
Mhm.
So what is what is the good thing that's happening as you're making this cottage pie?
So, Lavin as just a baker really is singularly inspired by most creations that he makes, and those creations are usually lavender involved or based. So being provided the challenge of having a cottage pie is a little disheartening. He was hoping to show off his flair with a delicacy, and has to continuously resist temptation. So he's like looking at the camera. And he's like, I've made some cottage pies before. And my mom's really big on the cottage pies at home. You know how to get your vegetables in. um, not not as flashy and artsy as I was hoping. As he's like cutting up the vegetables. But I'm gonna make it work. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to be a disciplined baker, and I'm gonna show the judges that I'm an all round home baker. So the good thing that happens is that he resists all temptation to throw in lavender to a cottage pie.
Thank you for that, for not putting lavender in your cottage pie. I
Yes.
appreciate it. All right, and Funky. So you get a 10. So that you're
Strong
something good
starts.
happens, and it's so what's great? What's happening right now?
So I feel like the recipe itself basically just lists the ingredients, doesn't give the quantities, and even just sort of gives you the order in which stuff is done, not how to prep it or anything.
Yeah.
But the minute it's like, oh, cottage pie, I know how this ingredient needs to be prepped and that ingredient needs to be prepped. So I start cutting everything really finely, like in slices, so that it cooks faster, because it seems to be you're given just enough time to bake it. And just like soaking the lentils so that they cook faster, like all this initial prep and kind of like everything's ready to go. Same thing, mise en place of all the ingredients, and preheating the oven. And they don't even mention what temperature, it's just like, and bake. So it's like preheating the oven to like 375 and just like Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Big. And just is just like full business, just like getting chopping and everything as if they know how to do this.
All right, and as everybody's getting situated and getting underway, let's go ahead and do your taste buds check now. Finally, a good roll.
I have a 0 in taste buds. Taste buds is not my strong suit, so I rolled though and nothing bad happened. Oh no, I have a 1 in taste buds. Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Even better.
Well, I got another 2. The good news is that I have a 4 in taste buds, so that's a 6.
Good.
I'm 7.
7.
Also
6.
6, 7. All right, so our 6s. Reggie, the camera goes back to you. As is staying. So something good happens.
Okay.
What's are you just is it tasting great?
Yeah, I mean, I'm chugging along. It's tasting great. I haven't managed to burn myself this time, which is new for me. And so as I'm putting it together, I'm feeling very content. it's also reminding me of home a little bit, reminding me of home with my partner. And that I think that's the thing that feels really good to me. It's keeping me going.
Yeah, I think Eddie sort of like sees you're just in this groove and pops by, and they're like, "Hey, so your seems like this round's doing a lot better for you. Do you just know cottage pies, or what's going on here?"
Well, cottage pie is a favorite in my home. Uh, we made them almost once a week for the first few years that we were together, my partner and I. And so this is just bringing me back to the early days. It's a relatively cheap dish, you see, and we didn't have a lot of resources at the time, and so it brings me back to those early times together. It just feels like home to me.
No, that's great. That's good. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Well, I'm just gonna. You seem like you got this. I will let you do your thing, and they're gonna just start. Give you a pat on the shoulder and just keep on walking. Yeah. Luis, you got a 6 right? Something good happens. What's going on over there?
I got a 6. You see, Luis genuinely has no idea what the fuck they're doing at all. He is scrambling and just somehow getting it right. Maybe not perfect, but it is going right.
Lavin like sniffs and is like, it smells really good.
Oh, thank you. I don't. Is this. Have you done this before? I've never made these. This is not my area of specialty. I am better with patisserie than not pies that call themselves pies. This isn't a real pie.
Oh, you are same. Absolutely same. I not very familiar with this, not an expert, but my mom makes it a lot, so kind of nose twitches and sniffs. Smells good.
Well, thank you. I guess it's something going right for me. It smells good, so that's something I can take that with me. I'll take it, and I think you're doing great as well.
Thank you.
You see, he almost like his elbow hits a pot and goes,
I'm gonna go.
Oh no! All right, and Funky 11, you got 7s.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so 11, since the camera's already sort of bouncing on you,
Yeah.
it bounces to you since y'all were talking. How is this going? It's smelling good apparently. So
Lavin is feeling a little more comfy knowing that even Louise is not as experienced, after like glancing over the Reginald and seeing that Reginald seems to be doing a really good job with this so far. And as Lavin's making the filling, it's just like, it's kind of smells like how everyone else's fillings smell like so far, and they smell good, and this smells all right. So I think I'm going okay. This is going fine thus far. And over in the corner, you see his eyes glance over to sprigs of lavender, and then immediately that concentration is broken by Funky talking. He's like, "Oh, thank you." Eyes glittering again, seeing the skunk that they admire, like that he admires, like complimenting him. He's like, "Thank you, Funky. Yours always smells really good. I'm gonna add spices to that."
Well,
Like
no. I feel like when I watch, I'm such a big fan of the show. Like when I see it, it's like some when people kind of deviate from the recipe too much, they kind of get penalized. So I'm kind of sticking to the stuff. But like, I think we're given an option of cheeses, so that's up to us to pick.
Oh. So yeah, I totally get what you mean. Eyes glance every now and then to sprigs of lavender in the corner.
oh gosh, oh no. And yeah, Funky, you've got a 7, so you're doing good. What's are you just timing it well, or are you
Yeah,
just tasting well? Yeah.
I'm timing it well, and which is why I have a bit of a lull between, like in between,
Sorry,
and
this is
I'm
the
able
taste
to,
buds one, not the timer one. So I misspoke.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, but just right now, sort of a very strong start, kind of like, I'm doing well. This is fine. This is all good. I'm doing well. Kind of hopefully the not too much like the rabbit in the race, sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like looking at the cheeses, it's like, well, I think this is where they're supposed to trip us up, but I think, because they're trying to make us kind of think different, I'm gonna pick, instead of the regular cheese, I'm gonna pick the cashew cheese, because I think that will give a nice little flavor to go with the coconut milk that's been given to us instead of regular milk. So and I'm just sort of musing. And I'm adding more salt because the ingredients are sweeter than usual.
Eddie's popping over and he's like, "So how's it going over here? It looks like once again you're organized and getting things done." What? And then he just looks at your variety of cheese. He's like, "Are you having a tasting?"
Well, yeah, they provided us with a couple of cheeses, but even though it just says use add cheese to potato mash and doesn't really specify which one, I could do a blend of them, but I feel like given our judges this for this thing, I'm right now, here, have some, and I just hand over a little bit of each cheese.
And you just see the cheeses being stacked in his hands, and he's just like wide-eyed. They're just wide-eyed, and like, yes, perfect. And then they sort of like cup it under, and they just run off with it. And then as they're at the front, like sitting on like an empty counter, just munching on cheese, they're like halfway through Baker's. And with that, let's go ahead and get that timing check done. So, y'all can give me some timing checks, please.
Oh.
Advantage, it's fine. I have
I
advantage,
rolled
it's
2
fine.
ones.
Oh, thank Jesus. Okay.
So my good streak is over now.
Oh no.
Nine.
Oh no.
9, 1, 3, 5. So let's go back to Funky real quick because you gotta wait. What happened with your timing? Did you just spend too long with
Okay.
the cheeses, or like what
Yeah,
happened?
I what I did was I made little testers to sort of make sure they go perfectly as they're cooking. And because of that, I think to actually put my big portion, that was like whatever the portion is, um, I run out of time to properly bake that, and the top is not going to be completely grilled to perfection. And I think also
Is it a little cold in the middle?
it's a little cool in the middle as well.
Oh no. No. So now you do not have advantage anymore, just FYI.
Yeah, and the even though it was supposed to be smooth, it was a little chunky because I was in a hurry to get it into the oven, the potato topping. So there's like pieces of potato.
Okay, so Chrome, you got a 3, is that right? Something bad happens and the player must play the disadvantage at the remainder of the round. So what happened with your timing, Louise?
See, as per usual, Luis is scrambling around in what they call organized chaos, but everybody else recognizes as just pure chaos. And in the midst of this chaos, Luis did not set his timer correctly. I went a little bit over, and by a little bit, I mean by a good 10 minutes. So it's see, Luis is kind of like bent over for once, like trying to clean up, and then
Wait, hold on. Wait. I think. No, that couldn't. No, it couldn't be. It's burning. Oh my god. Wait.
It scrambles to get it out and just out. Should have grabbed it with it. Pop mitts. Grabs the mitts and just pulls it out.
Well, it was going well.
Puts it down on the counter and goes,
I did this wrong. I will admit I did that wrong. Wish I hadn't done that. I need to. Where's my timer?
just leaves it on the counter. Just, I'm not looking at that today.
No more. You're a failure. I have failed you, and I'm going to ignore you now.
Puts a towel over the slightly burnt, very crispy cottage pie and just goes,
You are out of my sight, out of my mind, and you're still in my nose. Oh, burnt potato does not smell good.
But all right. So Levant, what did Levin get?
A
Again?
5.
A 5.
5.
So something good happens. What's the good thing that happened?
I'm going to like play into the fact that I rolled a 1 and then a 5 because I had advantage. This is truly a moment of character development for Lavan as he is forced to not try to lavenderize a dish. And you know, the good thing that happens is that the mash is coming in and it's incredibly creamy. He is hyper focusing on like the meats, the flavors are there, and everything's timed, so everything's prepared now to begin the setting up and to begin the baking. And you know, so instead of channeling the energy of I'm gonna put lavender in this, instead the decorative part at the top of the pie, he tries to draw in like lavender sprigs design over to the top so that it'll bake and look like lavender sprigs on top. But all the chaos around him, it's just like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We just gotta keep focused. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Looks at the lavender. No. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's all right. I'll just draw the lavender. It'll be fine. I'll just draw it. It'll be fine. Chucks it into the oven. Closes it.
All right. And Reginald, you got a 9, right?
Yeah.
So you get advantage for the remainder of the round. So what's the good thing that's happening? Yeah.
Yeah. So I had been similar kind of chaos as at Louis' station. I had been jumping up on the counter a little bit as I was making things, just getting into my groove, really even forgetting that I was on television for a little bit there. But when it comes out, I as I'm taking out, there's also a design on the top of mine. There's a little trash can on the top with the initials. It says R plus R on there, and there's a year written next to it, and that's just kind of like on the top of it. And it just reminds me of my home.
Oh my gosh.
adorable.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so cute. All right, so
There's a little tear.
Oh.
as it pans up, you know, what is his name? Oh, Eddie. Eddie's like, okay, bakers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hands off, hands off. Bring your stuff to the gingham table and put it behind your photo. There's a little drawing of each of you like sitting, so you gotta that's facing towards y'all, not towards the judges as they walk in.
Can I edit and say that the one that is given for presenting actually didn't even go into the oven at all? It's everything's cooked, so it's edible, but it doesn't have the crispy top, and the filling is just like room temperature at this point.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. So, yes.
I'm saying as we're walking up, I kind of look over at Lavin's and say, "Oh, we were probably supposed to make them not obvious who had made these, weren't we?"
As he's watching it go, and he goes, and he realizes, oh, wait a second, it's supposed to be hidden veiled. Like,
Wait, no, it's okay. I'll draw a lavender sprig on mine. It's fine.
that is
You'll
so
never
sweet,
know.
Louise.
Yeah, and I'll just throw a lavender sprig on mine too. To also just, and I'll do it like a flagpole, just like spearmint.
He just has this like most deadpan expression as he's realizing this and goes, "That is very sweet, y'all." It truly is a blessing and a curse to be given the name Lavin after lavandula, the scientific name of lavender. Um, but you know what? It's gonna be cute. They're gonna look at it and they're gonna smile. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna look at it and they're gonna smile. It's gonna be happy. We're gonna do fine. We're gonna do fine.
Y'all go back to your stations, and the judges come in. Actually, no, you're sitting like in a row, and the judges come in, and they're gonna go up to the first one, which is extremely burnt, but has a crust out like lavender sprig drawn on it on the top. And they're gonna look at it, and they're gonna be like, "Well, this one was in the oven a little too long." And they're gonna scoop it out and have a bite. Flavors are great. Ingredients are there. Just a little. Someone needs to keep an eye on their timer, and they're gonna scoot to the next one, and it's gonna be the R+R one, and they're like, "Oh, this is a very well baked." Kind of know who it is, but it's okay. Creativity sometimes does happen. Same thing with the lavender, and it looks like they look at the other ones like, did everybody decorate? And they look at the one with the lavender sprig just in it, and they're like, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll try to touch that. So they have a bit of Reggie's, and they're like, oh, the flavors are there. This is fantastic. There's a little bit of earthiness, a little bit of like just something you want to have on a nice, on a night where you don't want to cook too much. And they're all really agreeing about it, saying it's really good. And they're gonna scoot to the next one, which is the one that's actually cooked really well. I mean, it has lavender drawn into it. And they're like, well, looks well. It looks like there's a lavender drawn in it as well. Hopefully, there's not lavender in it. They side eye the other one with the lavender in it. They're like, once again, we'll get to that one in a minute.
I'm sorry, I just realized the way I did it, it looks like it's yours rather than mine.
So explicitly.
And with that, yeah, it's gonna be so they scoop it out and taste it. Like the flavors are there, the timing is great, everything's perfectly cooked, nice good crisp on the top. Well done, whoever this is. And then they scoot out to the last one, and they just look at the lavender and it's just like plucked into it. And Dale just reaches out and just plucks it out and puts it to the side. And actually looks at like the bits of it as it pulls out, like when you put a toothpick into like a brownie thing and it comes out with crumbs. Yeah. They put the remnants that come out. I'm like, I don't think it was baked at all. Okay. And they cut a piece and they pull it out, and they're like, was this even in the oven? And then they just like disagree, agreeing that it was not even in the oven. And they're just like, the flavors are great. Seems like everything's there. Just what happened with this one? And so from best to because it's a scale, in fourth place it's going to be Louis, this one here, and they're gonna uncooked one. Just what happened?
I was so concerned about the cheese blend that I lost track of time, and that.
Oh, well, I mean, everything else is there, but just remember to get your bakes in the oven. Okay. And the third place is this one. It's the burnt one.
Hello.
What
That
what
is
happened
mine.
here?
Well, you see, I was, for once, cleaning up my workstation when all of a sudden I noticed that there was a certain scent in the air that was a little bit crispy than ones that you would like. I burnt it. I lost my timer and I burnt it. I found my timer though. It had rolled down the hill.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad you found it. Why is it on the hill in the first place? Well, don't
I lost
answer.
it.
In second place is this one, and it's the one that's perfectly coated with the lavender in it. Lavender drawn in it. Oh, fantastic work, dear. It looks great. It looks great, tastes great. Very on the point that we're needing. In first place is this one, and that's Reggie's.
Yay!
Fantastic. It seems like you knew exactly how perfect of a temperature you need to be at. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, we're going to go into the last round. And that is the Blossom Challenge. And we have already decided what it is. All right, bakers, for your final round, we are going to do the Blossom Challenge. The Blossom Challenge is and will be the showcase, if you were, or the signature one. And we are asking for a 3 pies. I can't do the pun on my own. I can't three pie
Three
centerpiece. Centerpiece. We just need 3 full pies at minimum, and just making it a sort of like a showcase of sorts. You will have 4.5 hours to do so, and start now. And and you're off. So let's go ahead and get those sniffer rolls for me, please. No one's got advantage anymore. Five. Mary, what did you get?
I got 2 6s, so it's back to a 10.
Oh, you don't have advantage, though. Just FYI, you don't have any more advantage. So
no, I have
just
disadvantage because until I roll a 10.
I think it's just I think it just they roll a 1 on a future check. I think this just ends your advantages, so you don't have a disadvantage. Either.
Oh, okay.
So, but you still get a 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I can roll again if you would like.
Oh, no, it's fine. So Reggie got a 5. What'd you get again, Reggie? I forgot. 5, 6. Louise.
I got an 8.
8. 11.
You would not believe it, for the third time in a row, an 8.
Nice.
For the same check.
Yeah. So Reggie, what for this big 3 pies? I can't do it. What are you doing for your pies?
So again, I might be taking on too much. I'm calling this my trash can pie masterpiece. There will be three pies. On the bottom is a berry bonanza pie. Bananas. Berries and bananas. The middle is in the center. There's a savory pie with a tempeh filling, a spiced tempeh filling, and on the top there's a beets and greens. And then if I can make it done, I put a little pastry lid on the top that I coat with a glaze to make it look gray, like a trash can lid. So you take it off before you see the top pie. The beets and greens looks a little bit like garbage, but it tastes delicious. I'm telling you, it will be phenomenal.
Oh, so is the beets and green like an open face pie where it doesn't have like a little?
Yes, it's more of a tart, I suppose, than a pie.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. I love this. I'm more gonna love this. This is fantastic. So, you said you got an 8. Wait, what did you get? You got a 5. Sorry.
I got a 5, and
so something good happen. So what's the good thing that's happening right now?
It's just I'm just cruising along. So far, I have not run into a hiccup, which is more than I expected.
Excellent. You're doing your thing. All right.
Mhm.
Who? Luis, you got a 7?
8.
8? Okay, so you both
Got
got
an
8s. So, Luis, what are you doing for your 3 pies?
Well, this I might be doing too much, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Today I'm making 3 pies, all of them dual flavor. Listen, I will admit, okay, they're called cheesecakes, but listen, a cheesecake is a pie. It is actually a pie. So the bottom crust is they're going to be freestanding. There's not going to be side crust. So what you see is what you're going to get. The bottom crust is actually going to be a orange zest cookie on all 3 of them, but then each flavor inside of the actual bake is going to be different. I will have um, a raspberry, a blackberry raspberry one, a citrus one, which is all like lemon and lime, and then I'm going to have my tropical flavor one, kind of. It's going to be mango and strawberry because I love strawberries and I love mangoes, and those two go great together, especially with orange. Those are mine. Those are the ones I'm doing. Where we'll do it, and I'm going to do it.
So, how's it going well right now?
It's going good. I have all of my cheesecakes laid out. I'm using goat cheese. I'm using goat cheese because a lot of people who are lactose intolerant, even though they can't drink cow milk, they can actually consume goat products. So I'm using goat cheese as my cheesecake base. I have to make I have to make such a huge amount of cheesecake mix. Holy shit.
So,
Sorry.
I guess it's going well because you're making the big old thing by itself.
It's just a big bowl.
And I think whenever you say shit, it just like blurps it out, like burp.
It blurps it out. You see the moment Luis says shit, he goes, I meant holy quack.
And so, since you got an 8 as well, you get a advantage for the remainder of the round.
I'm going to need it.
All right, Lavin,
Um,
you got an 8, so go ahead. You also get advantage
Yeah.
for the remainder of the round. But
Sounds good.
so what are you making for this challenge?
Lavin feels that he has been unleashed upon the world currently after having to significantly restrain himself in the round before. And as the camera pans to him, this is amazing. I'm so exciting. And a lot of folks have been, when it comes to this challenge, it's always like, maybe I'm doing too much, maybe I'm being over ambitious. But it needs to be show stopping. That is the whole point of this round. It needs to be show stopping. So I am making this as much of a work of art as I can. It is going to be 3 pies, and it is going to be a blueberry lavender pie, starting for really traditional laced pie decoration, and traditional blueberry flavoring. You want the blueberry to be the star of the show. Then we're gonna go more and more modern as it goes. A lavender peach pie tiered immediately after that, and finally a more modern take on the pie and having a lavender honey pie at the top. And I'm going to, in each rung, be really creative with how it looks, and really explore the subtleties and delicacies of pie making as an art. And I am so excited. I get to do what I love, and this is gonna go. This is gonna work, and I'm getting organized. We're gonna do this.
I love that. All right. And it's going well because you've organized.
Yeah, I think the bit that goes well is that he's finally in his element, so he's able to kind of like organize. He knows exactly what he's doing, how he's doing it, and they're all prepped. All of the ingredients for each different filling already prepped, ready to go. 3 different bowls. Let's get going.
I love that.
So proud of you.
And Funky, you got a 10. So, first off, what are you making?
Yeah, so I'm this is probably my most ambitious idea yet. So I'm gonna do sort of like 3.5 pies. So the bottom, like it's gonna be arranged as like a fruit display, where each pie looks like a fruit. So the bottom fruit, the biggest one, is going to be a gigantic jackfruit, but the filling inside is going to be a vegetarian take on pepper steak. Again, using jackfruit as the meat and mushrooms, and I'm going to flavor it with a lot of umami things, with like black garlic, and have this really nice, dark, rich stew inside. And then the second layer is going to be essentially a big banana that you can cut into two, and one half is going to be curried plantains and coconut, and the other side is going to be plantains and coconut, but a take on, a banana coconut pie. And then the top layer is going to be itty bitty strawberries, again, sort of like looking, but they're like little hand pies or little amuse bouche sort of a thing. And they're going to be strawberries and this rose cordial flavored thing. And it's going to be essentially a little jelly pie.
Excellent. And it's going super well for you. How's it going?
Yeah.
Why is it going well?
I think it's because, again, like super organized, and everything each has their own stations, and currently working on the things that need to be done first. So all the fillings have already started, the strawberry and the rose cordial, and I kind of bring it. It's like, oh, here, Eddie, try some, and it's ruhavza, which is essentially a very like a South Asian rose cordial floral fruity thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, what do you think? Do you think this would go well with the strawberries?
And they taste it and they're like, yeah, I think that would go amazing. Oh, you better
Yeah,
watch.
They just bring a drink and it's like, here, have some.
Oh,
And it's
and
just
I think they're
basically,
eyeballing your bowl. So like, hey, once you get done with that bowl, send it my way. I'm gonna lick it clean.
yeah. And at some point during the competition, the bowl's yours.
Excellent. And yeah, so things are going great, and the judges are just milling around, watching. And with that, let's go ahead and get your what is it? The next one. What is the next one?
Taste buds.
Taste buds. Let's go ahead and get a taste buds roll.
So do I roll with advantage, or was that just
You get advantage now. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's two. Oh, bud. Okay. So. Okay, so a 2. You got an 8. Funky, is that right? Luis got a 10. Lavin got a 10.
I got a 9.
9. Okay. Reggie, what's going on over here?
Oh, Reggie, no.
No.
So what is going on over here? I think that the beets and greens pie on top is not turning out quite the way I thought it would in terms of flavors. The filling as I'm making it, it's beets and greens with a Marionberry balsamic glaze was the idea. So it's almost like a salad. So it's like a salad, an entree and a dessert kind of pie going down. But it is those flavors are not mixing. Something is going wrong, and I can't figure out what it is. Ooh, yeah, I taste it, and I'm very disappointed. And I think that it needs something, and I want to try and run over to the area where no, actually, I want to dive into my little like giant jars I have, and I want to try and see if I can find what it is. Can I forage?
Yeah, do a forage.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good at this. Okay, I got a 9.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes.
Excellent. So you're able to find what's going on.
I pull it out and it's black salt. It gives it that slightly sulfury almost taste to it. I'm like, this is what it needed. And so I put some of that in there and I'm tasting it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I got this.
That was a good save. Because that would have not been so great. But like you're able to find it in time and dive in. And I think as you're pouring the black salt, Eddie wanders over and he's like, What's that?
I should
it
I
pepper?
probably would. It's a type of salt. It's
It's purplish almost in color. I know because I use
yeah,
it a lot.
yeah. It I honestly don't know why it's this color. I just know that it gives things a little bit more of a kind of a savory, almost sulfury. It's good for it. It simulates almost an egg-like flavor in vegan dishes, and I think
Oh.
that'll really help all this come together at the top. So it'll almost feel like more like a quiche salady thing on the top.
And yeah, I think they take the bottle and like look at it and give it a sniff, and then they're just like, okay, and they hand it back. Like that that.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Well, you should have said something beforehand. And then they're just like walking away, like rubbing their beak, like where the nostril holes are. All right, who had the next lows? I forgot. Because y'all got tens, right? You two over here.
I got
Lucas and Lavin got tens.
Got 9.
You got a 9. Okay, what'd you get, Bruce? Funky.
I got 8.
8. Okay, so Funky. Let's go to you.
Yeah.
It's going well.
Yeah, it's going well, and to help get the shapes for all of these like fruits, I have molds that I'm using that I can kind of like that are kind of squeeze tight, and then you unscrew them when they're out of the oven. And yeah, just sort of like furiously getting all the stuff done, and sort of looking over and seeing like, oh, black salt, oh, that's so good, just comes over and just like, oh yes, this is so funky, I love it, and I just walk off.
I offer you some of the black salt as your.
I was like, oh, thank you, and it takes like a small little, the ittiest of bowls, just enough for a pinch, and just runs off. I love miniature things. And yeah, just is chugging along, and now like is starting to stuff the pies, especially the big one, because that needs the most amount of time. And the jackfruit black garlic mushroom filling from far away looks like pepper steak filling, but it's not.
Excellent. That sounds great. So yeah, things are going really well for you. Lavin got a 9, so you're doing really well too.
Yeah.
How what's going on?
So Lavin is just running around and getting things done. The 3 bowls are ready. Truly, just in what seems to be a rare occasion in this competition, like really in his element extremely, as he is just like putting the lavender oils in each and beginning to mix the fillings in, and each time he tastes it, yes, we're getting it all according to plan. Everything's going fine. Thinks of goodness, I've forgotten their name already. Eddie thinks of them and immediately picks up some tablespoons of each of the filling, puts them out, ready for when Eddie comes around to his table, and that's the bit that's going really well for him. It's just that the blueberry and lavenders have a perfect balance of like this tartness to sweetness. The lavender and peach pie is a little bit more sweeter. And the lavender and honey pie then leans in more to the sweet, but not to the point where it's sickly. It's just at the right gradient that he wanted it to be.
Side note, I love how you're all feeding Eddie. That just that makes me.
I mean, it's kind of Bake Off like given of the hosts just eat all the leftovers.
Yeah, pretty much. And Eddie, as you're holding out the spoon, Eddie just like slyly comes by and grabs that spoon and just walks off with the spoon, and like gives like a side eye to the camera and winks and like just keeps going. Louise, how are things going for you?
Luis is doing great. This is a point so far in the competition that he hasn't reached yet, where he's completely in the zone, and somehow being completely in the zone means as he's cooking and prepping everything for the cheesecakes, he's also dancing. So he's just doing a salsa as he's going around, just like dun 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 dun. Dun. I need to take out this mix. He's prepping everything. He's
That's
actually
so
changed
cute.
some of the ingredients. It's gonna be mango cherry now. So he's like pulverizing the cherries to put into the cheesecake mix that he set aside for like the top part of the mango cherry. And then he has the mango juice being put into the mix. He's folding into it. So the bottom side is this. There's so many bowls out. It's just all bowls and nobody can see Louise, but he's still going on just like fun. Da, 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 da. Taste a bit. This is tasting great. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh my god, it's so delightful. And I think with because I hit everybody, right? Yeah, I went through everybody. Yeah, this is when the judges are starting to come around and like check on y'all and see how you're doing. So as you're dancing over there, Louise, the judges are swinging by, and uh Dell just offers off a little like toady webbed hand and like offers you a hand to dance with. And they dance around for like 2 seconds, and then they twirl you and let you go. And Misty's like, "Well, dear, it looks like you're doing quite well."
Yes,
How
I am. Everything's going as planned. For once, it's going good.
And I think Slate just looks over. He's like, "Did you steal all the bowls that we had here?
I will admit.
Did you leave bowls for anybody else?"
We may be in a little bit of a bowl drought. That might be on me. Listen, I need 6 different bowls for my 6 different flavors. There's 2 for each pie. 2 for each.
Oh, okay.
This one is mango, this one's cherry, this one is lime, that one's lemon, this one is strawberry, and that one is raspberry. So I need all these different bowls, and I need my spices, and I need my vanilla, and I need these bowls because they cannot be mixed just yet because I actually need to set them in the fridge, and then when they're set, I need to put them in, and then I need to pour the water into the tray so that way they actually get baked. You know what I mean?
And he just like nods, and he's just looking at all the bowls. He's like, "Yeah," and he just nods and sort of just like walks away.
Good talking to you.
And Funky, they're gonna swing over to you and check in to see how you're doing over there.
Yeah, and there's actually, as they're sort of, again, everything's perfectly laid out and things are happening. There's actually a large pitcher with a couple of glasses, enough for like all the contestants and the judges and Eddie, and shot glasses essentially, and they're filled with this with some of the syrup that was so it's the rose cordial bruhavza as well as some strawberry syrup added to it, and it's just like sitting there nice and cold. There's like condensation on each, and I offer it to them as I'm busy making everything.
They're like, "You had time to make us drinks. That's so sweet." But also, or did it mess up any of your timing at all?
No, I think I'm doing good. I think hopefully I won't be too early or not enough time. I think I've got this.
All right.
Like
And I think Missy sniffs in, takes a little bit of sip, and goes, "Okay." And then Dell sort of just like throws it back, and you see him like swishing it around in their mouth, and before they swallow it, and they're just like, "Interesting combination. I like it. Good notes." And then Slate just sort of like gives you just a look, and just sips it, puts it down. Expression does not change, but just walks away.
and I sort of motion to the others, like whenever they have time, the other contestants, bakers, whenever they have time to grab one.
This is so good.
It's refreshing.
Thank you. This is delicious.
And I say, do you know that bruhavza actually just means sort of like a refresher for the soul, because Ru means soul and Hubza is like a refresher. So like, hopefully it'll get us through these 4.5 hours. They're so long.
I was like, oh, you got that right.
And then they swing down to Reggie's table. And they're just like, oh, well, it looks like you're doing quite a lot here, Slate says. And he's everything all right?
Yeah, yes, I'm quite sure it will be fine, but as Lavin said earlier, we this is the showstopper. We have to pull out the stops on this one. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
And
As I'm kind of jumping on and off the table again as I'm running from area to area.
Yeah. Real quick pause in the game. Thank you, donors. We have hit our halfway mark. We're over 500 now. So thank y'all so much for donating. It means a lot. But yeah, I just want to say thank you real quick. But yeah, so I think Misty's going to be like just watching you jump off and down the table. And Dell's like, they know what they're doing. He's getting into it. And respect, because Dell's also jump on the tables a lot. And then they all like, just sort of shuffle you off and they head away and all that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get our last one. So let's get that timing check. I know y'all have some great timing on y'all.
Oh boy.
Hey, that's better.
Yeah, I have a 0 to add to it, so that's the best I can hope for.
That's a 7. 7. I'm doing great.
Okay, 5's not bad. Something good happens. So Reggie, since you got the lowest of the bunch again, but it's a 5, so something good happens. What is the good thing that's happening right now with your timing?
Okay, so I'm glad I made that. I was rolling with disadvantage. The good thing that happens is, so I'm feeling a little behind on time, and I going into my little jar again. I'm pulling things out, and I realized that I thankfully already painted, so it's going to be 3 different tiers with little dowling rods between them to kind of like separate them a little bit of the pies, so they're not literally sitting on top of each other. And I've already painted the dowling rods the gray color I want them to be. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's one more step I don't have to do at the end. So I'm currently kind of trying to craft the pastry lid that's going to work, and we'll see how it comes together.
Okay, excellent, good. That's so good. All right, so Lavin, you had a 6, right?
Yes, I did get a 6.
Funky, you also got a 6, right?
Yeah.
Let's go Lavin first. Lavin, what?
Mm-hmm.
So how's your timing going? It's going well. So
Yeah, it's going well. He's kind of like, I really thought that this is where everything's going to go wrong, but so far I'm pulling through. And he's like, as he's like sorting out all the baking, he's also trying to do this transition from traditional to modern in the design of like his 3-tiered pies. So a lot of like geometry shapes for like the lavender honey pie, and a lot more traditional lacing designs for the blueberry ones as they move on up, as well as sprigs of lavender twining up on the rods. It's just like, whew, this is we're making it, we're chugging it along, and I am feeling good. This is going really well.
right, and Funky, you said you also got a 6. How's it going well for you?
Yeah, so it's going. I think the right now the jackfruit, the big one, is out and it's cooling, and I'm decorating it, and the big plantain slash banana sort of thing is in baking right now. And you notice that the fillings are sort of like a very darkish brown black for the pepper steak pie, and then for the banana, the half like savory and sweet, it's sort of like a lighter sort of brown, almost like a gradient, that's heading into pink, and then the sweet filling is sort of like a blush pink, and then the strawberry rose filling is like a very more vibrant color of pink, and it's like this sort of black and pink gradient going on as we're going as it's all coming together, and stuff is just going in order.
And Louise, you got a 7, right? Things are going well for
Yeah.
you too.
Yeah, I did. It's going great.
How are things going well for you in timing?
I have the ovens, I believe, in GBBO have maybe 3 racks. We're gonna say 3 racks. I have all of my pies in the oven baking inside of their water, so that way the actual tops don't crack. Taking care of that.
And now I have a little extra time to do my fancy decorations.
And you see that Louise is like taking out pineapple and mangoes, and is slicing them thinly to make like to prep them for like a geometric pattern that he's going to put on each of the cheesecakes that he's made. Nectarines are prepared, mangoes, pineapple, everything's good, everything's laid out for that. And then he just kind of he sees that he has a little extra time and just goes,
Well, I mean, I have some time. I'm going to just a little thing for myself.
and takes out an avocado and just starts making an avocado margarita to go with the pies.
I mean, who doesn't like rum? An avocado is a summer fruit, so may as well just kind of build off of that, huh? Here we go.
Real quick for the viewers that are watching on Twitch right now, we are actually giving a raffling off this game, Candied Violets. Oh, I'm helping out, Jess. So if you want to win a free copy of Candied Violets, please jump into the raffle. Thank you. We're continuing. That was another ad break. There we go. Boom. Back from commercials. So basically, everybody's doing really well. You're making your avocado margarita for yourself.
They're a real thing, and they're also very good.
I bet. Avocado's fantastic. So with that, let's go ahead and see who's what order we're gonna have everybody coming up to show the judges. Go ahead and just roll me 1d6. Okay, so Louise, you're first. As you get your dice off the ground.
I'll get it later.
Yeah, you don't need it anymore. It's fine.
I have more up here.
That's there. So yeah, you bring up your tower of. How are they stacked? Are they stacked like right on top of each other, or like how does it look?
Right on top of each other. Who do you think I am?
I don't know. I don't know how these look.
These are cheesecakes. These are delicate. You think I'm gonna let them break on me? No. The actual tray.
Well, my wife, she made this for me. It's a homemade tray, and so each pie is elevated off the ground, and it's kind of going up in a spiral. And at the top is just an edible flower, because those are in season right now. And so here's a pie, here's a pie, here's a pie. I love my wife.
Oh,
Made a wife guy.
I love him. A wife guy who bakes and dances in the kitchen.
So he kind of like is still vibing with everything that he's accomplished, and wow, he's so proud of himself. And he just kind of brings up the pies and is like,
I have made summer fruit cheesecakes, which are pies. I don't have a clever title. I'm not cute. They're just you see what you get.
You get what you see, and you see what you get.
I think Dale just nods. They're just nodding. I know. they're inspecting everything. They're making sure that the crusts are, baked through, and like if it's actually cooked all the way, because these are the cooked ones, not the in the fridge ones. And then they cut slices and of each one and take flavors, and they're like, "Wow, this is fantastic. This creaminess is good." It, you said you used goat cheese, right, for this?
Yes, I used goat cheese.
It's a little bit of a tanginess to it,
Yes,
but
goat cheese, compared to cow's milk, has it has a bigger, deeper depth, a little bit more bitter, which is why I used fruits that are more robust.
yeah. And they're just like nodding, and they're like, yeah, great overall, very good, appreciate, yeah, good job on this cheesecake pie tower. And the stand looks fantastic. It's a real, and you stand back. It looks really well from the distance. So yeah, this would be great on somebody's table. Thank you.
He takes a stand and just goes back and goes.
Shout out to my wife, she's great. Go visit her shop. She has an Etsy store. And just runs back.
Beautiful, I love it.
Dropping the link in live air.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so everybody else got 6s, is that right, or 5s, or what?
No,
What?
there
out
are
of
2
5.
4s.
4s. All right, so we're gonna go Reggie first then. Reggie,
Okay.
how does this look like as you're bringing it up?
Yeah. So it's three like equally sized pies, with, as I said, like gray, kind of slate gray little dowling rods holding them up. There's a little fondant banana peel on the bottom layer, and there's a gray pastry lid on top. So I set it down. I present the trash can pie, and I pull off the lid from the top.
And they're all just like
The-
looking over and like, what is that?
The-
What is
the-
that?
It starts out with a beets and green tart, with a Marionberry balsamic glaze. And for your second course, there's a spiced tempeh pot pie. And on the third, there's a berry bonanza pie. Bananas. It's an entire meal in a trash can. Like some of the best meals.
Everything but the kitchen sink, right? And they're expecting like, this looks fantastic with the levels and the lid. And is the lid edible, or is it just
Yeah, it's pastry. It's pastry. It's
you see Slade just take the knife and just like cut through the lid?
it's just it was inspired by the cage tart you did on a few seasons back.
Oh yes, and they
took a
tasted
variation of that.
and Slade tastes it, and he's like, it's a good layers. And they're admired by the garbage bin that you have there, and then they cut off the slices and they taste it, and they eat the fruity flavors. But when it gets to the top where the sea salt was added into what was it, the turnip,
black
the
salt.
the beets and the
Or the beets and greens.
yeah, with the black salt in it, and yeah, they're like, oh, this is, oh, that's a great flavor there with this. What is that? Was that the black salt you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow,
It
that is something we haven't had in a while. Wow, that's, and they're just like, just very like excited about that one in general. And overall, good review. So yeah, you can take yours back. And Funky.
Yeah. So it's basically fruits that are organized on a very sort of shallow wicker tray, and there's this big jackfruit and a big plantain, which is the two halves, and then in a little kind of uh, um, I think pint, or what is the quart? There is these little strawberries, and they're all pies, all the fruits, and yeah, I just say, so this is my fruit buys, and because I kind of see myself always in this liminal kind of space where it's not one or the other, it's on a spectrum. I just wanted all these fruits also to kind of be on a spectrum taste wise, as you go from savory to sweet, colors also kind of going that way, and yeah, so you go from like this meaty pie to a more sweeter thing to like a fruity thing. So, yeah, enjoy.
Like, yeah, we enjoy the gradients look great. The color looks good. Well, and then they're inspecting it, making sure no soggy bottoms once more, and checking it all out. Then they'll look at the slices and start eating, and they're like, oh wow, the flavors are fantastic, and they're all just like really hyped about like all the fruitiness and the savory one and like all that stuff. So they're good reviews across the board, like overall. And then they hand off your pie, and so they're like, yeah, great job, like, and so you're able to go back carrying it with them. Were you just doing it cute?
It's kind of like the nervous for the first time in a competition, just super nervous and just like,
Give me a cute roll real quick.
okay. That would be a 3.
Overall,
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I think it just comes off more as an endearing sort of like, oh yeah, you're just nervous, so than anything else. So it doesn't really help your case, but like it doesn't hurt it either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laughing, last one up.
All right, cool. As the brings forward this three-tiered pies, and he kind of introduces it. Judges, here is a generational trip from traditionalism to modernity. As he shows how the designs range from like the traditional pie lace on top of the blueberry lavender, like blueberry lavender pie, up to the lavender peach pie, which is a little bit more like your typical simple uh, pie design, and then to the modern lavender honey design with geometric cut out solid bits of honey that is designed on top of it, and then on the rods that holding each tier up, spirals of sprigs of lavender. And now you notice that the flower crown that Lavender wears no longer has any lavenders anymore, and it only just has the rest of the flowers that are there. As he puts it on, he's like, I wanted to make an an artistic perspective on pie and how far we've come, and where we can go with ideas about pie. Of course, all flavors are different types of flavors, but still having that light, delicate flavor of the lavender. An ode to the
Ode to the lavender. And they're like, okay, it looks. Love the ingenious sort of like layers that you've done and like how you've developed everything in. And then they're checking out, make sure it's baked well and all that good stuff, and then I'll cut off slices and like, oh wow, the balance is just beautifully done with the lavender because once again, you really show that you are a master with this sort of flavor with the lavender itself.
Oh, that means so much to me.
Yeah, and they're all like praising and they're all really excited, just enjoying the simple floral like hints of lavender throughout
Mm-hmm.
all of it. And just good notes overall. So and then they eventually hand it back to you and you can go back to your tables, and while the judges are convening, y'all can chat amongst yourselves if you like about what's going
So
on.
all looks so delicious, and I kind of like try to dig into whatever, like, you know, where the holes are made for tasting, of like tasting everyone's stuff and just like raving about it. It's like, oh my god, these are so good.
I've never had black salt before, but this black salt is really tasty. I really
It's
like it.
very good.
Mm.
Levon, I love
I'm-
your geometric designs, and I show you the ones that I did on my pen. I go, look, we're buddies.
Look, we are buddies. Look at our
We're
fancy
buddies, we're
little designs.
besties.
Yes, we should totally do like an Instagram like live bake together. We should totally do that.
Oh my god, yes. You and me, if we
Yes.
win, 100% live bake every other Saturday.
Yes, that sounds like so much fun. I would love to do that.
I'm mostly just kind of pacing around and looking nervous by the time I.
The bow tie's coming off. The bow tie's coming off. Oh no. Oh no.
It's serious when the bow tie comes off.
The bow
Yes.
tie's come off.
It was so good. That black salt really key. I don't know if you could taste
I
it
don't
in the
know.
curried plantain thing. I used a little bit of it. Thank you so much. It was so good.
It really comes through. The curry plantain is phenomenal.
And the idea
Truly
for the
fantastic.
3-course meal, amazing. Like just putting them on a journey. I love that concept.
You are, I think all of you are actually geniuses. I'm going to say the idea of going past to now, amazing. A full course meal, incredible. The idea of just eating a trash can as a trash panda, listen, it's everything, including the kitchen floor at this point.
And the edible decorations, oh my god, eating a trash can and it's delicious pastry. And you can already see him like half eating a little bit of it. It's just like, it's so good.
Oh my gosh, I'm so rude. Would anybody like to have an avocado margarita?
Oh, yes.
I made enough for
please.
everybody. I also had a mocktail for people who can't drink alcoholic beverages.
I love that. Lavan definitely like very quietly pours a little bit and it just like holds it like a typical Indian auntie, almost like cups it in the mug and just goes. And the camera catches it, just goes.
That's so good. Oh
You're
gosh.
all winners, regardless of what the result is.
We are all
honestly.
winners, truly. Playing this
We
game.
are all winners, yes.
I don't know who they'll pick.
Mm.
Oh, please don't remind me. I'm going to get nervous.
And as you're saying that, that's when the judges are like Eddie starts coming out with the judges again.
Oh no.
As you're like hanging out and just chilling with your margaritas and your mugs. And Eddie's like, well, everything, all you did fantastic today. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. For this competition, as you know, since we've hit that week where we're actually hitting a good stride, no one's going home. So we're just gonna have the winner for today. So the judges believe that Star Baker for this game is who had the most consistent bakes. They were ingenious with what they did. Is actually Lavin. So congrats, Lavin.
Congrats!
Lavin like goes to like shake hands with folks if they are comfortable with that, and or hug the folks that are into that, and kind of like steps up and like it's like, I'd like to thank my family for always believing in me and knowing my potential to bring the glory of lavender to all taste buds. And I hope this inspires folks to try, flavors that they didn't want to try. And I love everyone here and like gestures to all of the bakers. Honestly, we all did so well, and I can't wait to continue hanging out with folks after this. It'll be wonderful.
And they're like, your bakes were the most consistent throughout the whole thing. and your flavors were, even though you stuck to lavender, you used lavender in different ways, and we actually even did well in your technical in the blooming challenge. So without the lavender, so nicely done.
It took
And
all of my willpower. Thank you.
and yeah, I think the camera like starts fading away as you are all congratulating, Lavin, and just hanging out and chatting and stuff and drinking your margaritas. And out of the corner, you actually see Eddie sneaking off with the whole blender, the avocado margarita mix. And that's where the game will end today. And that is Candied Violets, y'all.
Cool.
Woo!
Oh,
Such a
goodness.
fun game.
Yeah.
It is.
That
So
is
much
fun.
Thank y'all so much for playing. I really appreciate it for y'all, spending a little bit. And thank you for overspending time, because it's past the half hour. We're about a half hour over than what we're provided. But I think it was great. I think it was fantastic. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I know Jess still has a raffle going for Candy Violets in the chat, so please get this in soon, like now, if you want to get it in, because this game is a delight, as you've been seeing. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. What is like a highlight that you want to like talk about? Like, what is, because I don't know, this whole game had so many cute, like, so if we're doing a highlight reel, what would be one thing you add to it? For me, it would have to be just Louise dancing in the corner while
Yes.
he's baking.
I think every moment where like the bakers were able to like interact with one another is really nice, because even in the show, that's a really nice thing to see, is kind of how it's
Yeah.
not a very toxic environment. It's always like, hey, how you doing? Everything all right? So
Yeah,
those
Mhm.
moments definitely.
yeah. And we will have to do epilogues as it's been requested. So yeah, just a quick highlight reel of the show, and then we'll get into epilogues.
For me, I think it's definitely the all the descriptions of everything. It's just it's a double-edged sort of a thing of like, oh my god, they're so delicious, and oh my god, I'm so hungry now. And
Right? I am so hungry right now.
and just that brand.
Yeah.
Also, I have to say that hustle with the branding, both for Levon with the lavender and the last minute plug for the wife, just like perfect.
I also say I love
I-
Reggie's. I love little Reggie's like little like odes to home and drawing the RRs
yeah.
and like
Yeah.
it was, and the
I was
trash
actually
can.
about to say.
Oh, the trash can. That was so good.
As I was
Yeah,
saying, but the
definitely.
whole thing with Reggie and like the R&R, especially, God, the trash can got me. That amazing.
That whole sequence, honestly, that whole challenge with Reggie really is like Reggie's moment to shine, and he really did, and I loved every moment of it. So like honestly, the whole thing with just Reggie, perfect highlight reel, pretty good.
Actually, honestly, like because I was doing a rubric, like, okay, who's like rolled pretty consistently throughout like the whole challenges and like did pretty well. And Lavin was the one who did it, but like Reggie was getting up there. Like if the first challenge was better, like Reggie would have taken it home. But like yeah, it was just like I was like, oh yeah.
For sure.
But go ahead.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, I was just saying, yeah, definitely bombed that first challenge, but no, the trash can idea actually came from my real life partner. I was chatting beforehand about ideas for the showstopper, and she was like, well, raccoon. She's like, you should do something trash can themed, and I was like, yes. But for me, I think the plug of the wife's store killed me. That was my favorite.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And as
Also,
go ahead.
I would say also Slate walking away without saying whether or not he liked something was brilliant. Oh, I love that. It's my favorite moment of the show, when Paul Hollywood scares you.
Petition for compilation of Slate staring at folks and walking away. I would watch that. Just a
Yes.
compilation of that.
Just a compilation of that.
Yeah.
And so as these credits are rolling and these highlight reels are popping off in the background, we get to the little end scenes, and it's gonna be a little epilogue. So this is after the competition. You know, weeks, months later. What is one thing that the camera is focused on doing? Like, if it's like doing like a little like, where are they now? What are they doing? Sort of thing. Like, what is yours saying? And whoever wants to go first, they can go first.
So I can jump in. It's me and another raccoon who are both like jumping around in a kitchen from like one counter to another, making something, and then like it would jump forward to us with the cottage pie that we made at home together.
And is that who we consume as your partner? The
Yes.
Reggie's partner.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Who I didn't create a name for, but it starts with an R.
I think Lavin would have opened like a little kind of like home delivery service of like cakes, like you kind of like order ahead of time sort of situation in like whatever community that he's in, and it's called Laving Lavender, and it's Laving Lavender. And tries to contact Louise as much as possible to be like, yo, want to do that every other Saturday, like Instagram live stream, where he would not only plug Loving Lavender, but also plug Luis's partner store, Etsy store, and link it heavily during the Instagram live.
Meowdle Smithery. Because my wife is a cat.
Yes.
I love that.
Every other Saturday, 100% with it's the card comes over is like, Luis and Devon have successfully started doing Instagram live streams together every other Saturday. they're happily celebrating together every Saturday, and they're making such great bakes. They'll be lifelong friends. Yeah, that's it.
That's so cute. Was that yours, Louisa? Sorry.
Yeah, that is mine. It's just a vibe.
I think Funky Brewster joins the Forest Network, which is a lot of food programs, and has a show called Journey into Funky Town, where they go around to all these different places that have interesting not at all like a certain person we know, and checks out all these different like interesting dives and diners and things like that.
Do they wear like button down like short sleeve shirts with like garlic on them?
Yep. And all the patterns, like for those shirts, are all different types of funky foods.
Love it.
I 100% plug your shop on the Instagram live stream.
Oh my gosh! Oh god, you are wild. I love it.
It'd be like, go check out Funky Brewster's Journey to Funky Town, premiering live this Friday.
We already have exclusives.
Yeah, and it's like
We're
actually
wearing the
plugging
merch.
your show. It's actually plugging your show. Cross plugin.
Gosh,
So
I love
funny.
that. Okay, so with that, looks like the giveaway's over, and Games by B has won a copy of Candied Violets. Good job.
Congrats.
Yay.
Congrats.
Rats, yeah.
Enjoy this game so much. But yeah, that is Candied Violets. I think with that, we're going to start slowly rolling out to words. I have them. We're going to start outroing and figuring out where we're going to raid. So, yeah. Go ahead and, where's my list again? Marry me start, because I lost my list. Yeah, give me an outro. Yeah.
Hi everyone. You can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. I go by they them pronouns. I am a writer for TRPGs. I've written for Thirsty Sword Lesbians is one of the ones that is out now. So yay! And also for Paizo's Lost Omens Mwangi Expanse. I contributed to that book, and I stream here. You can find me here. Next Sunday will be the next episode of Kahania, huge things happening. But also tomorrow, I will be here for Pride Brunchathon, where I will be running Kitchen Contest by Hans Chun, which is again, brunch themed, food themed. We're all here, we're all queer, and we're gonna also cook. And I also another huge thing that I'll let Jeremy talk about is we're a new show. Their Super Geek's going to be launching on this coming Thursday. So there's a lot of stuff happening. That's me.
So excited. Jeremy, since you're mentioned, your turn.
Sure. So thank you, everyone. My name's Jeremy. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Harkmorper, HARKMORPER. Or I'm helping run the They're a Super Geek Twitter, which is Taz Geek Show. Taz Geek?
I think it's just Taz Geek.
Taz Geek, TASGEEK. So I'm one of the co-hosts with Miriam of a new show, They're a Super Geek. We're an actual play one-shot live stream created by 3 BIMPOC players to highlight the voices of marginalized folks in the tabletop role-playing game scene. We feature gender marginalized GMs and a diverse rotating cast of players. So we're going to be streaming on Thursday with Jamie and the game Cozy Town. Temporal Hiccup. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter. I talk about role-playing games sometimes, talk about education a lot, and that's me.
Who wants to go next? Order has no meaning.
I can go next. Hey gang, I'm Chrome Raman. Y'all can find me on Twitter at Curls Borealis. I am doing so many things. I'm starting a subtle Pride merch collection where it's the Pride flags and color blocks, so people who aren't out can wear Pride merch during Pride Month. So hopefully that'll be out soon. I'm also currently writing a TTRPG with a friend called Kaiju and Chaos that I am pitching soon during the Connection live event. And this Wednesday, I'm starting a Star Trek live stream over at Void Cat Gaming. Tomorrow, I have Heroic Chord at 5 p.m. with Tabletop Roulette. And I'm also going to be back on here for Juneteenth playing Mutants in the Dark. So check that out. I'm doing a lot. Also, my commissions are open because I'm an artist.
Al.
Also, yeah. Thank you all for joining and watching Candied Violets with us. Really appreciate it. My name is Val, and I use he, him pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Valiant Dorian. I talk a lot about TTRPGs, especially D&D. But I also stream regularly on Twitch at Odds of Spirit Bear. I stream video games, and I also stream chill spaces where folks can learn about prepping for mostly D&D campaigns and how to approach DMing in a accessible and sustainable way. I am a DM, and I also am slowly branching out for actual play and streaming in the TTRPG space. So I really appreciate the support. Thank you all so much.
And I guess I talk about myself now. Hi.
Yes.
I'm Morgan, or Mo, as you may know me, they, she pronouns. You can find me everywhere on the interwebs at Serena Bezos. I'm on Utopia a lot. I do Game at a Glance every other Monday. So not this Monday, but the next Monday. Yeah.
It's usually after Kahania.
Yeah, the Sunday after Kahania, which I'm part of as well. And I run Donuts and Duels here, which is a Kids on Brooms game. It will be coming back eventually. We're just, collecting our stuff and getting it done. So, but it will be here. We are working on it. It's a work in progress. You can find me on other channels like RPG Hour for Roots Unknown, which is a Monster of the Week game. I also do some writing. I've done some writing for Kids on Bikes, Kids on Bikes, Teens in Space, and Junk Shaped Blood in the Banquet Hall. I do sensitivity rate consulting as well for small games. I do a lot. Just follow me on Twitter. Be my friend. I talk about nonsense there, but a lot of tabletop stuff in general. So, yeah, that's me. Once again, we are running this charity throughout the whole month of June. I don't remember what month it was. the whole month of Pride, and so catching contest tomorrow with Miriam and the crew. I've seen the players; they're all fantastic humans. I'm so excited for the game. But and our charity that we're doing is Black and Pink once more. Black and Pink is a is a prison abolition organization dedicated to abolishing the criminal punishment system and liberating LGBTQIA2 plus 2S plus rather, people and people living with HIV/AIDS who are affected by that system and through advocacy, support, and organizing. So if you can, please donate. If not, just come back and watch us tomorrow and just retweet and support us as much as you can. And with that, I believe we're going to be going over to RPG Hour, which are, like I said, I stream with them as well. They are running a stream called McCat Hour, one of their actual plays that they're currently running. So just if you can, just hang out with us a bit more and head that way with us. We'll appreciate it. Until next time, thank y'all so much. Bye.